The veil of Maya in Sufism, unveiling the illusion of separation. What if the world you perceive, the sights, the sounds, even your sense of self, is nothing but a veil, concealing the ultimate truth? In the mystical tradition of Sufism, this idea forms a cornerstone of spiritual understanding. Known as the Hijab, or veil, it represents the barriers that obscure our connection to the divine reality, Haqq. But these veils are not imposed by an external force, they are woven from the fabric of our own desires, fears, and perceptions. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, offers a profound exploration of the relationship between perception and reality. Its teachings reveal that our everyday reality is like a dream, fragmented and distorted, while the ultimate reality, the eternal unity with God, is always present, waiting to be unveiled. The journey of a Sufi is a journey through layers of illusion, stripping away veils to awaken to the truth. Here's the paradox: the truth is always there, closer to you than your own heartbeat, yet most of us never see it. Why? The veil as separation. What is hijab? In Sufism, the concept of hijab goes far beyond the physical. It refers to the metaphysical barriers that prevent us from perceiving God's presence in everything. These veils take many forms. Self-centeredness, the belief in a separate, individual self. Attachment, desires and material pursuits that distract us from the eternal. Ignorance, a limited understanding of existence, confined to the sensory world. The Quran itself refers to the veils of perception. And between them is a veil, and on the heights are men who recognize all by their mark. Surah Al-Araf 746. For the Sufi, this verse signifies the divide between those who live in illusion and those who see reality as it truly is. The illusion of duality, you and God. At the heart of the Sufi worldview is the doctrine of Tawheed, the oneness of God. While most believers affirm this unity as a theological truth, Sufis take it further, emphasizing that nothing truly exists but God. This means that the apparent separation between the self and the divine is itself an illusion created by the ego. To illustrate this, Sufi poetry often uses the metaphor of the lover and the beloved. The lover's yearning represents the human soul, while the beloved symbolizes God. The separation felt by the lover is not real, it is a veil created by the lover's limited perception. When the lover recognizes this, the illusion dissolves, and they realize they were never apart. As the renowned Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "You were born with wings, why prefer to crawl through life? Tear through the veil of illusion and soar towards the infinite." The path to unveiling, Sufi practices. The journey to remove the veils and perceive divine reality is at the core of Sufi practice. This journey is called the Tariqa, the mystical path. It involves a series of spiritual disciplines aimed at purifying the soul and awakening to truth. 1. Meditation and remembrance, Dhikr. Dhikr, the repetitive invocation of God's name, is a cornerstone of Sufi practice. By focusing entirely on God, the practitioner silences the distractions of the ego and clears the mind of worldly concerns. In this state, the veils begin to thin, and glimpses of divine unity can be perceived. 2. Poetry and music, Sama. Many Sufis use music and poetry to transcend the ordinary boundaries of perception. The hypnotic rhythms and ecstatic verses serve as a bridge between the material and the spiritual, drawing the listener closer to the truth. The famous whirling dervishes of the Mevlevi order use spinning as a form of meditative movement, symbolizing the soul's return to the center, the divine. 3. Love and surrender. For Sufis, love is the ultimate tool for tearing down the veils. This is not romantic or conditional love but an all-encompassing love for the divine. By surrendering one's will to God's, the illusion of separation dissolves, leaving only unity. As Sufi master Rabia al-Adawiyya expressed, I love you with two loves, a love of passion and a love that is worthy of you. With the love of passion, I remember you alone. But with the love worthy of you, I dissolve in you. The veil and the mirror, a parallel insight. Interestingly, Sufi mysticism often parallels the Zen allegory of the mirror. The veils can be seen as the dust on the mirror of the soul. When we clear this dust, the mirror reflects God's light perfectly. Yet, Sufism goes one step further by emphasizing that the mirror is not separate from the light. The reflections, the mirror, and the light are all one. Modern Reflections, Sufism's timeless message. The veil of perception is not a relic of ancient mysticism, it is profoundly relevant today. In a world dominated by distractions, consumerism, and information overload, the Sufi teaching of unveiling feels more urgent than ever. The barriers we create, whether through technology, social constructs, or personal fears, mirror the veils described in Sufism. Even in modern neuroscience and psychology, there is growing acknowledgement that our minds filter reality, often obscuring deeper truths. Could these insights be the scientific equivalent of the Sufis' veils? Unveiling your truth. Ultimately, the Sufi teaching of the veil is not about intellectual understanding but lived experience. It invites you to pause, reflect, and ask, what veils are clouding my perception? How can I reconnect with the unity that lies beyond them? The journey may be challenging, but the reward is immense. When the veils are lifted, what remains is indescribable, a boundless love, an eternal presence, and the realization that you were never truly apart from the divine. So, the next time you feel separate, lost, or distracted, remember, the veils may be thick, but they are not permanent. The truth is always there, waiting to be seen.